It is a windy day here at Joseph and Mildred Murray Stadium Field on the Catonsville campus of the Community College of Baltimore, as we are getting set for a men's soccer match featuring the visiting WVU Potomac State College Catamounts and homestanding Catonsville. Hello, folks. This is Isaac Donsky here once again to bring you all of the action. Catonsville comes into today's game to kick off the second half of the season in a bit of a pickle. They are 0-8-1 on the year, 0-7 in conference play, and are coming off back-to-back losses, which saw them lose by a combined score of 12-0 to CCBC, Essex, and Frederick in their last two games. It's been a difficult rebuilding year for the Cardinals, but there have been slight improvements. In their last home game against Allegheny, their offense did have their best showing of the season. Offensive issues have not been the case for WVU Potomac State. They're sitting on a 5-1 record on the year, 4-0 in conference play, and are coming off a 4-0 victory over Hagerstown. So they're looking to continue their winning ways here as they take on Catonsville this evening. Let's meet the starters for tonight's match, and we begin with the visitors from Potomac State. Starters are as follows: freshman forward number 7, Rashid Nassif from Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. Freshman midfielder number 9, Will Lapid from Frostburg, Maryland. Sophomore midfielder number 11, Jacob Ritchie from Frostburg, Maryland. Freshman forward number 12, Grant Dadisman from Philippi, West Virginia. Freshman forward number 13, Amari Headley from Pickering in Ontario, Canada. Freshman defender number 15, Trenton Whited from Bellington, West Virginia. Sophomore midfielder number 16, Samuel Otalora from Usaquin, Columbia. Sophomore defender number 17, Mason Orndorff from Hindman, Pennsylvania. Freshman defender number 24, Guilherme Moreira from Rio dos Luciadas, Portugal. Apologize if I mispronounced that. My Portuguese isn't exactly the best. Freshman defender number 27, AJ Donaldo from Bridgeport, West Virginia. And sophomore goalkeeper number 29, Tim Bailey from Morgantown, West Virginia. Now, let's meet the starters for homestanding Catonsville. Starting in goal for the Cardinals will be freshman 00, Austin Thomas from Rosedale, Maryland. Freshman defender number 2, Paul Catafalmo from Rosedale, Maryland. Freshman defender number 3, James Anderson from Baltimore, Maryland. Sophomore defender number 4, Eric Velasquez from New Carrollton, Maryland. Freshman midfielder number 8, Eduardo Lopez from Baltimore, Maryland. Freshman forward number 9, Mike Miranda from Catonsville, Maryland. Freshman forward number 10, Alec Britton from Dundalk, Maryland. Freshman defender number 13, Sharif Haidara from Conakry, Guinea. Freshman midfielder number 15, Evan Sims from Towson, Maryland. Freshman defender number 17, Caleb Akano from Lagos, Nigeria. Freshman defender number 18, Abu Diallo from Ebotown in the Gambia. From Randallstown, Maryland. And finally, sophomore number 21, Ryan Drummond, sophomore number 21. He's a new addition to the team, which is why it took me a second. It wasn't in my notes. We'll be right back with the start of this afternoon's contest.
by Kingsley Onwuka, will be in the white jerseys with a red trim. Potomac State, coached by Mo Pratt, will be in the blue jerseys with yellow numerals. We thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. We invite you now to relax and enjoy this afternoon's contest. We wish best of luck to both schools.
Getting set to get underway here. Catonsville, home whites, red shorts, red numerals. Potomac State will be all navy blue with gold numerals. We cannot state just how windy it is out there. Every time somebody comes into the press box and opens the door, a gust of wind sends everyone's papers flying, or at least trying to. So this wind could have an impact on today's match. And what Catonsville is probably hoping is that it'll even the playing field. They are facing one of the better teams in Region 20. So an even playing field could be very helpful, making this game more competitive.
Potomac State right to left.
Mike Miranda will kick off for the Cardinals as we get underway. The Catamounts taking their positions. Or are they? They're back into their huddle now. Now there they go. So the fourth home game of the season about to get started. Catonsville hosting the Catamounts of WVU Potomac State, and we're underway. Cardinals backing up to start things off. Paul Catafalma over to Sharif Hydera. Evan Sims in the middle has it knocked away by Grant Dadisman. And the Catamounts now will get possession. Lorea finds Donaldo. Over to Otalora. Back to Maria, and he shoots across field to Trenton Whited. Good defensive stop there by Catonsville. And the ball did slip out of bounds, so possession will go over to the Catamounts. Catonsville has played very good defense this season with the exception of a couple of games, as here's a good chance here for the Catamounts. Broken up by Caleb Acano. Good to see him back in the lineup. He missed the last home game due to an injury. Across the field pass in the direction of Eduardo Lopez wasn't there in time. I believe that was new acquire Ryan Drummond. Now the Catamounts back on the attack. Whited out in the direction of Orndorff, but it goes out of bounds. Possession should stick with the Catamounts here, as Diallo touched it before it went out. Little scrum at midfield. And Abu Diallo is going to get a whistle there, throws up its hands in frustration, so it'll be a free kick for the Catamounts, and they're back on the attack. Good defensive play there by Eric Velasquez to get the ball away. Paul Catafalmo sends it sailing to Will Lapid of the Catamounts, and now here's a chance for Potomac State, or at least they had one until Paul Catafalmo stole it away. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession will stick with the Catamounts. Catafalmo, known for his aggressive style of play, he's always going to get scrappy no matter what. No matter how much the Cardinals are down by, he's always going to throw himself into the game. Last home game, Catonsville fell behind 2-0 early against Allegheny, but were able to pull within one after shutting out the Trojans, as here's a chance here. This is the new acquire, Ryan Drummond, and he goes down with a big collision with Orndorff, and the Catamounts will snuff out that opportunity. Paul Catafalmo with another big stop that got a nice reaction from the crowd there. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession will stick with the Catamounts. Chance here for the Catamounts. Good chance. Or will they? No. Evan Sims hits his own teammate with his shot. Bounced into the air. James Anderson heads it away. And it's knocked back to the Catamounts. So now Potomac State trying to regroup here. They still haven't been able to. The ball goes out of bounds. Possession will move over to Catonsville. Opening minutes here of this match. And so far the Catamounts have kept the ball on Catonsville's side of the pitch. Not an ideal situation. Catonsville will get a chance to toss in here. This is Evan Sims, pursued by two defenders. Eduardo Lopez, by the way, wide open. James Anderson did see him. Lopez trying to corral the ball, has it stolen away. And some members of the crowd were pointing vigorously at Lopez, who is wide open there. Lopez has shown up big time for the Cardinals in their last couple of home games. He's looked very solid. Hasn't scored any goals yet, but had some pretty good chances in that game against Brookdale. Now here's a very good chance here for Grant Dadisman. His shot is partially deflected by James Anderson, and Catonsville's going to get another stop here. Or will they? Yes, they will. There is a collision. Ball goes out of bounds. Catamounts will take over. One thing Catonsville has done very well this season, with the exception of a couple of blowouts, is that their defense has played exceptionally, especially in the first half. They have a tendency to play extremely aggressive defense through the first half of their games. But then, as the game progresses, the defense kind of starts to soften up a bit. And in the case of some games early in the season, they would just get annihilated in the second half as their team tired out. But thanks to some solid conditioning by the athletic staff here and the coaches at CCBC Catonsville, Cardinals have started to show up for the entire game. Problem is, they still just haven't found that first win yet, but it is coming. They have looked very good, especially in their last couple of home matches. They still, however, and I have to give out the cons too, they have only scored 2 goals this season. Paul Catafalmo with a steal there and is going to try and give the Cardinals a chance, but Abu Diallo wasn't in position just yet, so the Catamounts will take over again. Catonsville's looked a bit scrappy here. They've been able to keep the Catamounts at bay, and it doesn't help when the Catamounts keep overshooting. I wonder if the wind is making it so those passes aren't going in the right direction, as Evan Sims getting aggressive here with Amari Headley. Sims goes down. Last home game against Allegheny, Evan Sims had a brutal outing. He was knocked to the ground multiple times, suffered a burst blood vessel in his chest. He's okay. It's good to see him playing, but he was beaten up after that game. CCBC Catonsville's players weren't exactly thrilled with Allegheny with their aggressive play directed at Sims, but he was a trooper. He stayed in the game except for a brief period where he got taken out, and he did excellent in a 2-1 loss. James Anderson with a free kick, trying to give the Cardinals a good chance, misses over the head of striker Mike Miranda, who scored the last goal for Catonsville. Lopez, and the Cardinals are going to lose out on that chance. Headley with the ball now. Ooh, maybe not. Ryan Drummond, the new acquisition, showing some aggression there. as he breaks up that pass. Catamounts will retain possession, however, as we've got 38 minutes to go in this first half. Catamounts on the attack. Paul Catafalmo breaks up that pass. Ball's going to roll out of bounds, so Catonsville will retain possession. So a good start defensively for the Cardinals, knock on wood. Don't want to accidentally cause a commentator's curse here. Haidara finds Diallo, and he gets tangled up. Ball goes out of bounds, and Catamounts will retake possession. Paul Catafalmo coming flying in there. Kind of does a belly flop as he heads it back out of bounds. I'll mention it now, and I'll mention it throughout the game. Paul Catafalmo is always going to put his body on the line in these contests. Catamounts trying to regroup. Correa goes down to Donaldo. Bit of a scrum. No one was open. And now it's a race between Paul Catafalmo and Rashid Nassif. Stolen away by Paul. He goes out to Mike Miranda, but he's double covered. Can he break through? No, but he does. He wasn't the last person to touch it as it goes out of bounds. Catonsville will keep possession. Catonsville running a solid defense here. They've got Paul Catafalmo, Caleb Acano, and James Anderson back in the defense. Evan Sims also back there to help them out. Speaking of Sims, here he is. Passes over to Eduardo Lopez on the near side of the pitch, but he has it stolen away by Donaldo. Now Donaldo has to avoid Diallo, goes back to Morea. Morea passes across the field to Trenton Whited. Whited passes down to Will Lapid in the middle. Lapid over to Orndorff. As now Potomac State just playing keep away, trying to find an opening. Catonsville's got a very solid defense going up here. As they pass down to Grant Dadisman. Dadisman over the middle, and Austin Thomas makes his first save of the night. Wasn't really a save, more as just he came out of net to break up that pass. Good play there by Austin Thomas, by the way, leading Catonsville with 51 saves on the season. And now, a very good chance here for the Cardinals. Abu Diallo, he's going to lose the race. No, he doesn't. He manages to get it before it goes out of bounds. He's got to break through Orndorff. This could be a chance. Diallo over the middle. He was looking for Miranda, but it's knocked away by the Catamounts. So Catonsville showing that patented aggression that they have shown all season long, as now it's a bad pass there by Grant Dadisman, who wasn't pleased with himself. Austin Thomas will come out of net to set it up for the Cardinals. Catonsville getting some good breaks here. Hopefully they can replicate that last series. That was the first time they had gotten across midfield. We do have a Cardinal player down. I'm just now noticing there is a Cardinal player on the ground. We're going to have a whistle. I'm trying to see who that is, but I think that might be Abu Diallo. Yes, it is. I'm just scanning the field. Don't seem to see anybody else. Don't see how he went down, but Abu Diallo hit the ground hard. Just waiting to see what's going to happen here. He's back to his feet. Hopefully it is nothing serious. Abu Diallo has been described by the athletic staff here at CCBC Catonsville as a player who sometimes tends to get the yips. Let's just say has a tendency to get a little nauseous during the games due to excitement, but he should be okay and ready to get back into this game soon if that's the case. Coming into the game to replace him is going to be Khalid Minte, the freshman forward from Ebotown in the Gambia, number 19. He comes into the game. I believe there was also a substitution for the Catamounts, as I see. No, not at the moment, but we'll let you know if there was. I don't see any changed numbers out there. This is Odalora, pursued by Drummond. Drummond has looked very aggressive so far. This is his first game with the Cardinals. He joins Eric Velasquez as just the two sophomore players on this team of almost all freshmen. It was Eric Velasquez for a while, but Drummond's going to make it a two-man party in the sophomore department. Minte, nice steal there, finds Miranda. And Miranda, good plays. Wasn't able to get it down in time. And the Catamounts are going to reset here. Folks, we got probably our best crowd of the season here. It's good to see. The start of the year, Catonsville was having some difficulty attracting people to their games. It's understandable. It was an almost all freshman team. Here's a chance here by Dadisman. Passes over the middle. No one was there. And Eric Velasquez is going to wisely knock that one out of bounds. As it'll be the first corner kick of the game for the Catamounts.
Corner kick, Potomac State.
Can't see who's taking the kick, but I believe it might be Will Lapid, number 9. Kick is incoming. Yep, just got the confirmation. Knocked away by Caleb Acano, but the Catamounts will retain possession. So the Cardinals' great defensive wall stands up. We got to give them a nickname, this defense, because it's been so excellent this season. And again, I know someone's going to look at the schedule and the results and say, okay, but they've been blown out multiple times and got outscored 19-1 in their first 4 games. Yes, but ever since that first 4-game stretch, they've only been really blown out once. So their defense has really held up, as that's a great defensive stand there by the Cardinals. It was James Anderson getting involved. A nice nickname for the Cardinals defense. That's what we need here. Some momentum for the second half of the season. Mike Miranda coming screaming in there, kind of hesitating a bit. Here's a shot that Dadisman will head out of bounds. So Catamounts had about 3 or 4 really good chances there, all broken up by Catonsville's defense. Again, it's something that Cardinals have done very well in the first half of their games, is play tough defense. It's the second half where things get a little difficult. Now the Cardinals trying to reset. Paul Catafalmo trying to break free from his defender. Goes to Eric Velasquez, far side of the pitch. Velasquez gets the offense moving. He goes to Mike Miranda. Got to be careful. Miranda goes out to Mente. Mente, nice cutback move. He's double teamed. Back to Haidara, who finds Velasquez. Now Velasquez realizes we're not going to get through that defense. We got to reset. Goes back to Catafalmo. Paul, good move there. Back to Velasquez, now back to Haidara. Haidara tries to find Paul, but he can't get there in time. Catamounts are going to retake possession. Headley knocks it down in the direction of Nassif. Now Nassif, covered by Sims, tries to cut back. Catamounts could have a chance. Headley over to Donaldo. Donaldo finds Lapid, whose shot is wide. So another break for the Cardinals. Goal kick incoming here by Austin Thomas, the freshman out of Rosedale, Maryland. Nice kick there by Thomas. At the beginning of the season, he struggled to get those goal kicks up past midfield, but now they're nicely landing in the middle of that circle, which is what we want to see. Ball goes out of bounds. Catonsville will retain possession, so a good chance here for the Cardinals, with luck. James Anderson will toss it in for Catonsville. Or will he? Looks like instead Anderson decided to toss it over to Eduardo Lopez, and the ref had to remind him that he has to be fully out of bounds when he tosses it in. He had 1 foot inbounds. Lopez tosses into Miranda, who is quadruple teamed. Can he break through? No. If he did, it would have been just him versus the goalkeeper. Cardinals keeping it tight, though. Drummond with some good attacking there, as there's Gail Bacano. Nice play, trying to break it up. Catamounts finding it difficult to get any momentum going here. And it helps with, well, Eduardo Lopez there nearly lost the ball. Keeps possession. Under 30 minutes to go in this first half. The score 0-0 as Catonsville faces off against the Catamounts. If you're just joining us, so far it's the same thing as it's been for most of the home games. Catonsville's defense playing fantastic as usual, but the offense struggling to get any momentum going. What they're probably relying on is what happened in the last game, and hold that thought. Here's a chance here, or at least there was a chance. That was Jacob Ritchie, first time we're hearing his name today, who his pass, I think he spun around and tried to pass to a teammate who wasn't there. Thomas comes out of goal to stop that. That pass looked like it was coming to Grant Dadisman, with hope he probably could have gotten there in time. Did not. Thomas breaks it up. So Catonsville's defense holding steady here. They just need some momentum, need to get the offense in a position to score. Last home game, they did finally find it, and it was thanks to them exhausting the the Trojans of Allegheny College, who they were playing last time out. With hope they could do the same to the Catamounts. Exhaust them in the first half by playing strong defense and then exploit those weaknesses in the second half. James Anderson passes deep down to Drummond, far corner. Drummond boxed in a bit. He's got one defender to break. He can't get there in time, but he wasn't the last to touch it. Catonsville retains possession. So now the Cardinals set up here. Lopez will toss in. And forgive me if it's a little difficult to call here because that corner of the field's kind of blocked off. Drummond's pass goes to a Catamount player, but Catonsville's going to keep possession. Ball rolls out of bounds off the foot of a Catamount. Cardinals are going to get another chance. Now it's Catonsville's turn to get multiple chances. Lopez's inbound throw is kicked away by the Catamounts, but Paul Catafalmo is here to try and keep possession going if he can beat Nassif, which he, almost. Jacob Ritchie with the ball now. Loses it briefly. Taken back by the Cardinals. Catonsville's defense keeping it. They're bending, but they're not breaking. That's the right term. I was searching in my mind for the term to describe this defensive style of play that we see from the Cardinals. It's bend but don't break, with a big, big, big emphasis on bend, because you are not going to see the Cardinals you're not going to see the Cardinals with many chances to score offensively. You will see them on the defensive almost the entire game. But whether or not the other team will actually score, well, that depends on how Catonsville is feeling on that particular day. Right now, they're feeling like, hey, we can stall these guys out. Slide tackle, not there in time. Paul Catafalmo is going to toss in for the Cardinals. And Jacob Ritchie looked a tiny bit banged up after that tackle. He was clutching both his knee and his elbow. Wouldn't be surprised if he has some skid marks after that, because he came in from about 5 yards away. That turf is not pleasant to slide on, just saying. Ball bounces around in the air, looking for somebody to corral it. Cardinals will. Mike Miranda got a little help from his defense. Now he loses possession, and he's like, where is the foul on that? As here's a chance for the Catamounts. Nassif shot, no, it was deflected by who else? Oh, no, excuse me, wrong person. Evan Sims.
Corner kick, Potomac State.
And Potomac State will get their second corner kick of the game. Nassif will kick in. Oh, excuse me, that's not Nassif, that is Lapid. Ball bounced around. Great save by Paul Catafalmo. Potomac State a bit frustrated on that. I think they thought it went over the line. It didn't. Paul Catafalmo just knocked it out of there. Cardinals can get a breakaway here. There are only 2 men back there. Mike Miranda desperately waving his hands in the air like, come on, let's go, let's go. Deep pass. Battle between Ritchie and Velasquez to try and grab it. Ritchie manages to gain possession, but the Catamounts are going to have to regroup here. And I just want to point out, I just now realizing, folks, I made a little bit of an error during the pregame. I mentioned on the starting list Alec Britton for Catonsville, who normally does get the start. He's actually not starting today's game. Alec Britton being the freshman from Dundalk, Maryland. That was my mistake. I accidentally added an extra player. Britton normally does get the start for the Cardinals, but not today, as he's been replaced in the lineup by the newcomer, Ryan Drummond. Catonsville's lineup on the field right now, same as the start, with the exception that Abu Diallo is currently out of the game. Still being checked out by our athletic trainer, Miss Abby Miller. He's been replaced by Khalid Minte. Here comes a free kick for the Cardinals. Caleb Akano will take it. As Catonsville now with a pretty good chance. So Akano looked like he was going to James Anderson, but he kind of got stuck on his right foot. Instead, he goes to Paul Catafalmo. Deep pass downfield for Minte. Minte does not get there in time, so possession will go back over to the Catamounts. We've got just under 24 minutes to go in this first half. And today's crowd, I think a large chunk of it does look to be in support of Potomac State. But there are a fair number of Catonsville fans here as well. That's good to see. Still, the biggest and probably most impressive crowd of the season. We're expecting probably a bigger crowd for the upcoming Saturday home game, first one of the season for the Cardinals as they face off against Lackawanna on Saturday. Back to the action we go. Akano down to James Anderson. Heavily defended. Catamounts play very strong press defense. Akano, deep shot in the direction of Miranda. Mike had to pause for a second to not run off sides. And Anderson with a header. Lopez getting in there, getting aggressive, trying to break free. Now it's a track race. They won't get there in time. It's Dadisman, one man to beat. Nice save by Austin Thomas. Thomas with the extension and stops what could have been the first goal of the game by the Catamounts.
Corner kick, Potomac State.
Potomac State will come in for their their third corner kick. And that one wasn't even close to the field. It just sailed behind the net. A little off target there, and I'm starting to wonder if the wind may have had an impact on there. We just had a change of cameraman, and as the new cameraman was coming in, the wind, you could feel it coming in. It is chilly out there. This is the first game of the season where the temperature has really been down for the Cardinals. First couple of home games have all been pretty warm, a little cooler at night, but still pretty warm. But thanks to this wind, it is honestly pretty chilly out there. Catamounts going to have to regroup here once again. Or are they? Hydera with the steal goes to Minte, but a little too much power, gets past Minte and his three defenders that were on him, and instead goes to Potomac State's goalkeeper. That's Tim Bailey. He has, so far today, pretty much just had to stand on his side of the field and not do much. There's only been about two honest chances that Catonsville's had. Been a lot of standing around and watching for Tim Bailey. Catamounts back on the attack. Donaldo goes to Dadisman again. He's had plenty of chances there on the near side. Back to Donaldo. He goes across to Odalora. And wow, that was a backwards with the heel block by Akano to break that one up. He was backwards, falling over, and I believe he used his entire heel to get the block. Very nice play by Caleb Akano. Once again, very nice to see him back in the lineup after missing last game with injury. Dadisman, covered by Anderson, back to Donaldo. Passes. Akano once again breaks it up. There's going to be a little bit of a scrum. Cardinals trying to break through. Still trying. And now it's Drummond, the newcomer. Got to be careful. Almost lost control. Mike Miranda got behind the defender and steals it away. Now Miranda, double teamed, getting pretty handsy with his defender there, and there's a whistle. They're gonna get Miranda for grabbing his opponent's shirt. Donaldo to Headley. Headley to Dadisman. Little too much power there. Dadisman wasn't able to keep it going. Now he has to break away from Anderson. He goes back to Donaldo. Same play as it was last time that the Catamounts had possession. Donaldo, waiting, firing over the middle, bicycle kick off target. That was Ritchie. Didn't even really have a clean shot there. I think he was well off. So now Austin Thomas with a goal kick here. We've got just about 19 minutes to go in this first half, and like most first halves, it's been a story of defense for the Cardinals. They have, once again, played brilliantly on the defensive side of the ball. They just haven't been able to get their offense going. It's a better start to the game than it was last home game when the Cardinals fell behind 2-0 in the opening 3 minutes, but then they shut out Allegheny the rest of the game. So that's a win in my book. Cardinals trying here. Haven't been a lot of substitutions so far in this game. The only one was for that injury to Abu Diallo. We actually do have a substitution. Alec Britton is into the game for the Cardinals. As here is a chance for the Catamounts. Headley No chance. Thomas with the stop. I paused there when I was naming the substitutions because, and this is a little embarrassing, there is a player on the field for Catonsville who I do not know who he is, number 24 for the Cardinals. Give me 1 second, folks. The Catonsville did make a couple of additions this past week, and one of those players who's on the field, I did not get their name. So we will figure that out real quickly. Number 24, he and Alec Britton have checked into the game. And if you give me 1 second at the next stoppage, we're going to find out who that is. I apologize. That's not very professional, but I was only informed of these late additions to the Cardinals roster just before the game kicked off. Here's Drummond, speaking of new arrivals. He's looked very good so far in his first start on home soil. And Drummond's going to fight through. Ball does go out of bounds. Catamounts will take possession. And the wind, by the way, is now blowing from left to right on your screen so hard that it's blowing the referee's flag backwards. Excuse me, the sideline judge. You can look at his flag if you need an indication of just how hard the wind is blowing. The pine trees over on the left side of the field, you can also see they're bending quite a bit. It is windy. And I should mention, while I was walking up here to get the broadcast started, the light towers surrounding the field, one of them sounded like it was shifting back and forth just a bit. Don't think that's a safety concern. I think that's just more of how strong the wind is. Dadisman wasn't ready for that one. He gets hit by it, then he trips over the ball. Finds Donaldo. Donaldo goes out to Mason Mocker, who's now into the game for the Catamounts. Also into the game for the Catamounts, Edwin Gonzalez, number 10. Lapid. Miranda manages to wrestle it away. Here's Mente. Try to find Miranda, knocked around. Now another chance for Mente, and he does find Miranda. Miranda is being haggled by multiple defenders, so he goes to Alec Britton. Britton hits the ground, and here's a chance. But Paul Catafalmo snuffs it out, and Rashid Nassif was a little slow to get up. He's back on his feet, though. So Cardinals looking a little more aggressive here offensively, trying to break through. Donaldo goes down to Dadisman. Last time he touched the ball was a bit of a mess, but keeps it clean this time. Finds Caleb Acano. Ball got behind him, but Austin Thomas makes the save. We've got 15 minutes to go here in the first half. It's still 0-0. Catonsville's defense has looked great, but they're bending a whole lot. And defenses that bend that much typically don't last. Sun is coming out here, bathing at least half of the field in sunlight. Austin Thomas got to be careful. Paul Catafalmo kind of tripped a little bit as he was trying to get to the ball. Edwin Velasquez. Eric Velasquez just took a nasty shot to the knee. He's down. He was trying to collect the ball after Catafalmo muffed it. And there was a collision with, I believe, Rashid Nassif, and he got hit. They're motioning for the trainers to come out. Velasquez, the veteran presence and leader on this Catonsville team. So while we're stopped, allow me to correct a mistake I had made regarding a certain player on the field. So number 24 for Catonsville, my apologies to his friends and family if you're listening in. I did not get figure out who it was. That is freshman defender number 24, John Klasik. So we have that. My apologies. We now have who that is. He had not been added to the roster that I had, but he is now on there. John Klasik, Ryan Drummond are the two new additions. to this Catonsville team. Just did a quick search through the roster to make sure they're the only additions. Velasquez is off the pitch now, being talked to by the coaches. Hopefully everything is okay with him. His veteran presence on this team. During preseason, in talking with head coach Kingsley Onwuka in preseason, he mentioned that Velasquez has been a veteran, has taken up a leadership role with the Cardinals that he wasn't expecting. He's the only returning player from last year's squad. Not ideal for him to be out of this game, as they are still checking out Velasquez, and now Dalton Jackson is warming up for the Cardinals on the sideline. He might be in. Is that Jackson? No, that's Evan Sims. He's been taken out too. He's getting checked out by the athletic trainer. We're back underway. Paul Catafalmo kicks it back in bounds as I'm scanning the field to see who the replacements are. I believe number 11, Jason Blanco, is now into the game. No, that's not. We have another Cardinal down. Uh-oh. That's Sharif Hydera. He's had some injury issues this season, too. He's down as well. So that's another Cardinal down. Not good. So now that's 3 Cardinals in the last 2 or so minutes that have gone down. Hydera coming out. This is not ideal for Catonsville. Back underway. So we got 3 Cardinals on the sidelines. And I'm trying to see. I don't know if there have been any. I'm trying to see who their substitutes are. I can't make out. Here's Klasik, his first action. Loses it, but he gets wrapped up with Edwin Gonzalez, and a chance here. Shot, Thomas, nice block there on Mason Mocker's shot. We'll keep things alive for the Cardinals. Abu Diallo is back into the game for the Cardinals. Now know who that substitution was, who subbed in. And the Catamounts right back on the attack. We've got about 13 minutes to go. They are pretty desperate now, the Catamounts at least, to get a score going, as they have been held scoreless here by an excellent effort by the Cardinals. Paul Catafalmo will toss in. So it was a bizarre set of series there for Catonsville, as they had 3 players all go down very quickly, and it happened so fast we weren't able to see who the substitutions were. As now, Khalid Minte struggling for the ball. There's another stoppage. Cardinals back on the offensive. Alec Britton knocked to the ground, looks for a whistle, and he's going to get one, as now Ryan Drummond goes down, but he's back on his feet, looks to be okay. Free kick coming up. Evan Sims and Sharif Hydera, by the way, are warming up on the sidelines, trying to get back in action. And I'm wondering if they may have had some cramping issues, which is why they both went off. Slide tackle there by Nassif on Catafalmo. Alec Britton. With the glare from the sun, it's a bit difficult to see the exact numbers. But it could be worse. There are plenty of teams out there whose choices for their jersey combinations aren't exactly the best. Look at this play by Khalid Minte. He steals it away. Finds Miranda over the middle for Drummond. Drummond! No, it's blocked. Where did that come from? The Cardinals all of a sudden just went on the assault. And now they're going to get a corner kick.
Corner kick, Catonsville.
The Catamounts were trying to reset. Khalid Minte came screaming out of nowhere, stole the ball away, got it to Miranda. Miranda got it to Drummond, and Drummond had a very good chance to head it in. It was blocked out of bounds. So now Cardinals with the chance to try and score here as we've got just under 11 minutes to go. Kick is up, batted around, no chance. Catamounts take it. Paul Catafalmo traps the ball between his legs, knocks down his defender. I think that's Dadisman. What a play by Paul Catafalmo. Cardinals are going to lose possession here, but that was vintage Paul Catafalmo. Now the Catamounts back on the assault. And again, Paul Catafalmo stealing the ball away, getting a raucous cheer from both the crowd and the sideline. Again, Gainesville can't capitalize on it just yet. Guess who? Paul Catafalmo steals it away. Tries to find Minte, instead finds the Catamounts defense. Defense wasn't ready. Drummond comes screening. Ooh, big collision. Ooh. Drummond is back on his feet, but the guy he hit is not. That's Guilherme Moreira. Guilherme Moreira from Portugal. He's back to his feet as well. A little shaky there. That looked nasty, but they're both okay. Now Donaldo, down to Dadisman. Far corner, covered by Klasik. Dadisman shot deflected by Akano. Up in the air, who's going to come down with it? The crowd gesturing at Catonsville. Come on, get over onto that side of the field. And I got to agree with them. They got a chance. They got West Virginia, WVU, Potomac State. They're struggling a bit here. They've been in control of this game for much of it, but they have nothing to show for it in the first half as we've got less than 10 minutes to go. Now, crowd trying to get Catonsville to go in. Come on. We can smell blood in the water. Akano has it stolen away. Rashid Nassif, his shot was partially deflected. He actually hit the dirt, but he's okay. A nice stop there by Austin Thomas. Thomas, booming goal kick for Miranda. Drummond in pursuit might have gotten a foot on that because there wasn't as much power as you would expect. You got to give it to Ryan Drummond, his first game with the Cardinals on home soil, and he's looked awesome. Here's Paul Catafalmo. Either he or the defender is going to hit the dirt, and it's going to get ugly. Well, they both hit the dirt, so I was partially right. Foul is going to be called, I believe, against the Catamounts, so it's a free kick for Catonsville, taken by Eduardo Lopez. And they're going to change that up, actually. Instead, Catafalmo will take it. We do have a sub warming up for the Catamounts. I believe that's number 14, Corbin McAllister. Now the Cardinals back on the offensive. That got ugly there. Mike Miranda just shoved a player to the ground. There's another shoving to the ground. John Klasik just knocked Will Lappin to the ground, and there's going to be another whistle. When I said we can smell blood in the water, Cardinals, that doesn't mean start shoving everyone to the ground. I mean, like, go score. I kid. Donaldo finds Lapid. Catamounts trying to break through. Won't get a chance. James Anderson. Now Drummond. Good move there by Ryan Drummond. Got to keep it from going out of bounds. Double team, try to get out of it. And it does go out of bounds anyway. The wind has played a factor in this game, I could tell you that much. The amount of passes that have shifted off target midway tell me just how much the wind has impacted. Evan Sims, by the way, checking back into the game. Great to see. Catamounts did make a change as well. We'll wait for a second. I believe number 2, Brock Amos from Bridgeport, West Virginia, is into the game now. There's one other sub. We'll get that in a second. I believe number 17, Mason Orndorff, just checked back into the game. Now Catamounts with a chance. That ball got behind several Catonsville defenders. Never mind, just as I was saying that, Caleb Acano makes the stop. Possession will stay with the Catamounts, though, as we've got 6 minutes to go in this first half. It's still 0-0. If you like soccer games with a lot of scoring, you're out of luck. This is the style of soccer that's low scoring, defensive, but can still be pretty thrilling. Catonsville manages to put on a show no matter what. One just wonders maybe we could get a little bit more offense from the Cardinals, but they're getting better. Thomas gives it to Acano. Now Acano, risky pass, and I think the wind had something to do with that ball as it went right between the legs of several defenders. Here comes Drummond trying to break it up. Sims, a little hesitant. They're trying to steal it away from Nassif. Ball bounced around. Cardinals with another good stop. We've got 5 minutes to go. Now Alec Britton downfield for Abu Diallo. And again, I think the wind may have gotten into that one because it was way off target. The crowd is voicing their displeasure with the Cardinals on that one, but I don't really think you can blame them. I think the wind took that one. Here's Donaldo. Pass intercepted. That's Jason Blanco, by the way, who's checked into the game for Catonsville. Good to see him. He looked very strong in their last home match. So the Cardinals now have gone through pretty much their entire starting lineup and subs. Evan Sims with a good block, but he winced a ton. He's probably in pain. Amos will throw it in. James Anderson heads it up. Amos trying to get it. Might have been a handball. I think it was a handball. Yeah. They got Brock Amos on the handball there. You saw James Anderson motion to the refs, hey, he touched it, and they agreed. Anderson will give it to Thomas. We're in the final 5 minutes of the first half. It's still 0-0 as Paul Catafalmo's shot is blocked by the shoulder of Corbin McAllister. That's got to hurt. And the Cardinals will retain possession. Catafalmo will toss it in. Bounced up. The wind is really picking up now. The tree line behind the field looks alive. It's moving that much. We've got 3.5 minutes left. Catamounts trying desperately to get something going. They've been shut out so far by the Cardinals. Abu Diallo keeping it aggressive. And it's good to see him back in after he went out earlier. I'm thinking it was the yips like it usually was. Wind really picking up. I could see some leaves and twigs being knocked across the stadium in the grandstands. Acano blocks that one with his full body. Now Klasik knocks it away. They're trying to keep it away. Nassif blocked by Paul Catafalmo's shins. Blanco trying to knock it up. Somebody corral the ball. Again, I'm pretty sure that's the wind taking it. Jason Blanco retains possession. But the Cardinals aren't ready to go on the offensive yet. They still got everyone back on defense. And I think the crowd wasn't too pleased with that one. We got a couple of spectators right below us who are voicing their displeasure with the Cardinals for not being ready. The only person on offense for the Cardinals right now is Abu Diallo. He's going to need help because, ooh, there's a bit of a wrestling move as Abu Diallo knocks down Trenton Whited. Whited was almost on his back like a piggyback ride there. Final 2 minutes of the first half. The intensity ramping up as Catonsville's trying to preserve a first-half shutout like they've done multiple times this season. I believe McAllister may have hurt himself a bit as he rolled out of bounds. He's back on his feet, noticeably slower. Now the Catamounts trying to reset once again. Abu Diallo looking sharp, trying to break up that play. Here's Drummond. It's nice to see Ryan Drummond pursuing constantly. Nassif goes to Whited. Excuse me, that was Dadisman. Here's Minte, and he's going to get shoved out of bounds. And it will be a goal kick for the Cardinals. Final minute of regulation here in the first half. A windy defensive first half. Catonsville's defense, pretty much they've only had to play defense, but they've played it well. Trying to get something going. Anderson getting wrapped up with his defender. Steals it away. Finds Klasik. No one's moving from the defense, though, which is a little bit aggravating. Good play there by Akano. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession is going to go to Catonsville. Ooh, Catamounts didn't like that. "20 seconds to go in the first half. Anyone wants to make a try and score, here's the chance. Alec Britton, deep shot downfield towards Jason Blanco. He gets tripped up. What was that? Wait a minute. Mason Orndorff just tripped Jason Blanco hard. That's unacceptable. Blanco is down. We're in the final 10. Well, there we go. That's the end of the first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our first half with our halftime score: Potomac State 0 and Catonsville 0.
We'll be right back for the start of the second half after that last play ended. Jason Blanco still down, by the way. I know as a commentator I'm supposed to try and keep it unbiased, but that looked blatant. We'll figure that out later, though. We're entering halftime. We'll be back in 15 minutes. The score 0-0 between Catonsville and Potomac State. And we are back for the start of this second half of what has been the usual for Catonsville, a very defensive-based game. Score is 0-0 here between Catonsville and Potomac State. Catamounts have basically controlled the game, but Catonsville's bend don't break defense. It's been very bendy. One could almost say it's like you take a piece of gum or adhesive and stretch it out to the point where it's about to break, but it doesn't break. That is essentially what's happened with Catonsville's defense. Gumby, yes, my our PA announcer Richard Keller just put it best. Catonsville's defense has been Gumby today, but it's held. It's still 0-0, and now the question is, can the Cardinals get a score on offense? Maybe. The Cardinals have a bit of a bad habit in the second half of games of falling apart both defensively and offensively. Their team becomes so exhausted that they just can't seem to get any momentum going. With hope, they can turn it around. We have noticed during the start of this year that in certain games, the Cardinals at the start of the second half, their offense has been able to get something going, as we see Mike Miranda chasing down that ball right there, and Ryan Drummond immediately with a good chance. With that being said, though, whether the Cardinals still no numbers in the win column, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Catonsville's going to get a good chance here right off the bat. Khalid Minte, number 19, will take a free kick, as I believe they gave a foul there on the Catamounts, sent Ryan Drummond to the ground. By the way, just before halftime, we had that moment where Jason Blanco went down hard and was still on the ground as we went off the air for the halftime break. He got off the field. He's on the sideline right now. Cardinals are setting up here. Mint with the free kick. A good chance. And wasn't there just yet. Or is it James Anderson with the return shot? Nope. That's the first shot on goal we have seen of the game for Catonsville, though. So that is good to see. Quick swish of water there. Commentating tends to dry one's mouth out, folks. So if you heard any of that sloshing sounds, I apologize. That's kind of gross. But got to keep hydrated, especially when a game like this, which was supposed to be a blowout if you ask Catamounts fans, we'll hold that thought. Catamounts have a chance here. Shot wide. That was, I believe, number 12, Grant Dadisman. He's had a couple of really good chances playing in that corner position, but just hasn't been able to get any of them. As I was saying, it has been an exciting 0-0 game so far. Most of Catonsville's games are 0-0, and most of them have similar situations where it's pretty enjoyable to watch. Good defensive soccer. Kind of wish there was a little bit more offense. Maybe we can get that here in the second half. Cardinals already looking stingy, as they always do. Orndorff setting up a shot back to number 15, Trenton Whited. I believe the starting lineups are back on the field. Catonsville might have some exceptions. Bit of a collision there on the sideline. Mike Miranda with a steal. He finds Haidara. Good to see Sharif Haidara back at the game. Haidara finds Ryan Drummond. Down the near side of the pitch. Drummond stops for a second, tries to get away, stays on his feet, goes down, no whistle. Yes, whistle. Foul is going to be called, I believe, on Khalid Minte. Ryan Drummond, by the way, making his first start of the season, I believe. So far, it's looked very, very solid for this Catonsville team. Seen a lot of aggression out of him, a lot of pressing. That's good. That's what Catonsville needs. They need those aggressive playmakers. They have a couple already. Paul Catafalmo, cough, cough, Paul Catafalmo. But a couple more would be very helpful, as here's a good chance. Well, it was a good chance until it got headed away. Maybe not. Drummond trying to corral it up. And Catamounts are just going to reset here. I don't think they see any reason to play aggressive in this situation. It's still 0-0, but any score, the way these two teams are playing defense, any score probably is going to be the only score. As now we have a foul called, I believe. It looks like on the Catamounts. Everyone is shifting back towards what WVU's side of the field. And the referee is given an earful to number 12, Grant Dadisman. So, hey, Dadisman may have gotten a little handsy there. Catonsville getting another good chance here early on in the second half. There's a bit of a scrum. Drummond goes down. No whistle. Start? Yes, whistle. Mentioned it in the first half, but should mention here too. Wind has been a big factor in this game. It's been very windy, which may have affected a couple of passes, but we're going to pause that thought. Cardinals with a shot here. Khalid Minte, near side. Nice pass to Drummond. Oh! But he accidentally passed it back, and Minte wasn't there. Ball goes out of bounds. Catamounts take over possession. And immediately we'll go right back out of bounds as Paul Catafalmo heads it off. So now, Catamounts trying to get something going. Back to that thought I was saying, the wind, big factor in the first half, maybe not as much the second half. It's not as windy out there. The winds have subsided. There was a bit of morning rain, which brought with it the odd weather. And, of course, commentators curse. The second that I start saying that, the trees in the background start swerving. So, yeah, wind is back, it looks like. Catamounts are on the attack, as that shot by Rashid Nassif got deflected midair, and instead, Austin Thomas will scoop it up, and it's Catonsville back in action. 39 minutes to go in the second half, still 0-0. For those of you who missed the first half, the Cardinals had a lot of good chances there, as there's another chance gone to waste as Drummond wasn't there, but Evan Sims recovers. Okay, we're still in action. Abu Diallo got a bit aggressive, tries to get it onto John Klasik. He's one of the new additions. Klasik showing a lot of aggression. I got to say, these two new guys on the Cardinals, John Klasik and Ryan Drummond, have both shown a level of aggression that this Cardinals team desperately needs. Hold that thought. Here's a chance, and that shot by, I believe, Rashid Nassif went through the uprights for a field goal, but that's the wrong type of football, so it remains 0-0. And I apologize to any regular viewers. I know I make that joke at least once every game. I will not stop. That joke is too funny. 38 minutes to go in the second half. Cardinals have seemed a little more in control this half. Not that much. Could be the Catamounts are just pretty tired. They were basically on the offensive the entirety of the first half. Might have tired them out. But the same could be said about Catonsville, who was on the defensive the entirety of the first half. Cardinals looking a lot more aggressive now. And I got to say, the crowd, we got some spectators right below us who are, desperately waving their hands to the Cardinals. Get down on offense. As that shot by Nassif is scooped up by Thomas. The spectators right below us are gesturing at the Cardinals, get down on offense, because every time the ball rolls onto Potomac State side of the pitch, there's only like 3 Cardinals down there. That's not enough to launch offensive. They're doing the same thing. There it is again. You're starting to hear, you probably hear chants in the background, get down there. Right now, it's just Drummond, Miranda, and Diallo who are actually down there. Haidara did come in, as Evan Sims is too late to pick off that pass. So now the Catamounts back on the assault. And this probably, no, Austin Thomas with an excellent stop there, as he basically had to run straight into the legs of that attacker whose jersey number I cannot exactly make out, but he's going to toss it to Andre Drummond on the near side of the pitch. Mike Miranda with a deflection, and I think the Catamounts are just going to risk trying to give possession back to the Catonsville, as the Cardinals will get to throw it in with pretty good field position. Let's see what they can do here. It'll be Paul Catafalmo throwing in for Catonsville. He goes to Sims. Sims backs it up to Anderson. Wrong way. Let's keep it going. There we go. Anderson tries to find Haidara, but it's deflected. But Caleb Akano knocks it back. Mike Miranda heads it up. No one was there. A little bit of a scrum. And I believe they're going to give a free kick to, yes, they're going to give a free kick over to Potomac State, as Mike Miranda and Will Lapid kind of got into it there, and Lapid hit the turf, and the referee was not a fan of that move. Another chance here for the Catamounts. Score still 0-0. Catamounts trying, but Caleb Acano says, no way, I'm playing good defense here. And now Cardinals trying to get back on the offensive. It would help if most of the Catonsville team was on the opposing side of the pitch, but they're not at the moment. They're just going to reset. Catafalmo out to Klasik. Klasik, it looks like, has permanently replaced Eric Velasquez, who went out with, I believe, a knee injury in the first half. Don't want to speculate on that, but he was clutching his knee when he went off. He was part of that bit of a weird circumstances. There's a nasty collision there. Abu Diallo keeps on his feet, though. Good to see. There was a weird series of moments that occurred in the first half where 3 Catonsville players all went out simultaneously, but 2 of them only went out for about a minute each due to what I could best describe as a case of cramps. In the case of Eric Velasquez, though, it looks like he might be done for the afternoon, or excuse me, the evening, as he is on the sidelines. I believe he's put on his warm-up gear. Austin Thomas makes the save there. And with 34 minutes to go, Catonsville trying to get something going. Defense still playing great, but the offense just isn't responding. Haidara trying to play keep away. Acano over to Klasik. Now Klasik to Miranda. Miranda knocks it up, and it'll go out of bounds. And they're going to say that it was deflected by the Cardinals. Nobody touched it, so possession will go back to the Catamounts. Wind is picking up once again here. It's getting intense. Good steal there by Mike Miranda. Rest of the Cardinals not really reacting to that. I think Paul Catafalmo just motioned at Sharif Haidara. What are you doing? Get down there. We're on offense. Wind is really picking it up now. The jerseys are fluttering in the wind. That's how hard it is. And the wind is going against the Cardinals, I should mention. Ball is thrown in, and it did curve a little bit as it was being thrown in by Klasik. Anderson getting aggressive. Ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to say possession will go to Catonsville, please. There's a bit of a discussion. No, possession will go to the Catamounts. So Potomac State back on the attack. Receive. Bounced up. Play's getting physical out there. Good play there by Drummond. Finds Miranda. Miranda backs up. And everyone seems to be taking their time. So that's another opportunity lost. Now, this isn't good. Potomac State got right behind Catonsville's entire defense. Mike Miranda, pretty much by himself, goes to Drummond. Drummond trying to scoop it up. Lost track. Gets tossed to the ground. Is there a... No foul called. Drummond is still on the ground, clutching the back of his heel. Oh, boy. Wind is really picking up now. Ball goes out of bounds. Drummond back to his feet. Possession will go back to the Catamounts. If I seem aggravated at all, it's a little aggravating watching Catonsville's offense just not figure out that they have the ball. I know this team is rebuilding. I know that this is a rebuilding year for them, but you got to wonder, come on, we're at the halfway point of the season. Let's get the offense going. This is something that head coach Kingsley Onwuka, by the way, as that shot wide, it was partially deflected by Mike Miranda. Yes, by Mike Miranda. Offense is something that head coach Kingsley Onwuka has said we are going to work on. Defense, they pretty much got that locked down. Their defense has been stellar today, but the offense is the issue. And he's been like, we're focusing on shooting. We're focusing on maximizing opportunities. We got to start seeing that from the field. Here comes a goal kick for Austin Thomas. Wind picking up once again. Ball will roll out of bounds. James Anderson lets off the gas pedal. Just lets it roll out of bounds. Gives possession back to Catonsville. Another goal kick coming here. We got 30 minutes to go in this contest. Here's a chance for the Catamounts. No, Paul Catafalmo with a defensive stop. For now, Catamounts back on the offensive. Mason Orndorff, number 17, was chasing it down. He will toss it in. We've reached 29-minute mark. And Paul Catafalmo is going to get fouled on that. Paul Catafalmo kind of knocked Rashid Nassif to the ground, and it'll be a free kick. A free kick for the Catamounts. So Potomac State with probably their best chance to score this half. They've had plenty of chances. Gainesville forming up a nice wall there. Interesting formation here. They've got two guys facing the right way, one guy facing the other way. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Free kick is up. Knocked around, it just goes right out of bounds. So possession will go back to Catonsville. Cardinals trying to get back on the offensive. Good pass attempt there by Mike Miranda. Oh, excuse me, Alec Britton. That was Alec Britton who made that. Here we go. Ryan Drummond. Quadruple teamed. There's literally nobody down. He goes down in a collision. And you could probably, that is the frustration that I was talking about. Ryan Drummond and Mike Miranda were the only two Cardinals running down the field. Everybody else was just hanging out on the defensive side. That is why, if it sounds like I'm getting a bit aggravated up here in the booth, that's why, because that right there should be more than just two guys. Both of these teams look pretty exhausted. I will mention that. And so we've got a free kick coming up for Catonsville. Cardinals deciding who's going to take it, and I believe it'll be Mike Miranda. Caleb Bacano and Paul Catafalmo staying back. It's going to be down between Evan Sims or Alec Britton on who takes this free kick, as the Cardinals have a fairly good chance here. One can hope. Cardinals taking their positions. Abu Diallo. And that kick wide, way wide, and off target by Alec Britton. A little too much power there, and I don't think you can blame the wind for that one. So, Cardinals head back on defense. Catamounts will get to reset here. A goal kick coming up for goalkeeper Tim Bailey, who has not seen a lot of action today, and for pretty big reason. As there's a collision and a chance for the Cardinals? No. Well, yes, actually, yes. They are going to roll a foul on the Catamounts there. We do have a Cardinal down. I believe it's Sharif Hydera. Yes, he is back on his feet, though. That's good to see. Notable player who hasn't appeared in this game so far, Abdul Loam. Abdul Loam, Brendan Hartman, Dalton Jackson, Bill Nwanja have not appeared in this game just yet. Or as Connor Surrey. I don't believe Connor Surrey has played at all this year. He's a bench player for the Cardinals. So here comes a free kick. Evan Sims will just dish it out. A little bit of confusion there by the Cardinals. Akano. Deep shot. Mente wasn't ready for it. I believe that time you could say the wind took it. Here's Catafalmo. Down to Mente. Mente to Drummond. Good passing here by the Cardinals. Drummond trying to keep it from going out of bounds. Loses track. Oh, that one's got to hurt. He accidentally made one too many touches with the toe. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession back to the Catamounts. So now it appears it's more of a case of the Cardinals getting in their own way in this second half. But it's still a scoreless tie. We got 25 minutes to go. Anything could happen. This really feels like that kind of game where whoever scores first, if there is any scoring, will win because nobody else can seem to. But so far, again, Catonsville's defense has been great. Another chance here. Drummond, nice spin move. I think he did that because there's no one on that side of the field he was pointing at. He's going to lose possession here, and Drummond is limping a bit. He's clutching his knee. Cardinals falling back on defense, trying to get a stop. Here's Headley. Passes down to number 12, Dadisman. Over the middle, headed away by Akano. Good defense there. Excuse me, James Anderson. He and Akano share the same hair color, so a bit confusing there for a second, but that was Anderson, excuse me. Now a chance here for the Catamounts. Not if Caleb Kano has anything to say. Kind of shoved his man out of bounds, but it'll be a goal kick for the Cardinals. Back on the offensive. Drummond goes down again. Dadisman scoops it up. Now down the near side of the pitch is Dadisman. To Nassif, back to Dadisman. Blocked out of bounds. Possession will stick with the Catamounts. Kind of hard to see where the ball was there as that shot appears to have gone behind the net. Cardinals back on the offensive here, at least trying to. Anderson struggling a bit to get control of the ball. Now, here comes Miranda. Out to Drummond. One man, maybe two to beat. Drummond has to backtrack just a bit. He had Diallo there. Goes back to Mente. Mente over the middle towards Miranda. A little too much power on the shot. Yellow card's coming out. Abu Diallo's going to get yellow carded for that as he knocked Guilherme Morea to the ground. That's the first yellow card of the game on Abu Diallo of Catonsville. And field tempers are starting to rise here, as both of these teams frustrated with where this game is. Catamounts probably thinking this game should be over by now. We should be crushing them like we have done. Catonsville probably thinking we can win this, but we need the offense to work. Free kick, more like a free pass, as Borea just dips it off to his teammate. It's whited. Catamounts back on the offensive, but Sharif Haidara steals it away. Good defense there by the Cardinals, but not fast enough. Rashid Nassif scoops it up. Here's a shot by Lapid, way off target. It'll be a goal kick for the Cardinals. Paul Catafalmo trying to steal the ball away. And there's going to be a foul called on the Catamounts. Catonsville will get a chance. It's very noticeable at this point, as we've reached this point of the second half, that Catonsville's defense, Catonsville as a whole, they've slowed down. You can tell that they're getting more tired. And I think at the same time, though, the Catamounts are starting to get a little aggressive. Rashid Nassif was just gesturing wildly at his teammates, not pleased, I think, that they still haven't managed to score. Well, they're going to get a chance here because Caleb Akano just sent that pass out of bounds. Here's Nassif. Trying to break away from James Anderson, has it stolen away. He's gesturing. Where was the foul? Anderson, down the sideline, goes down. He doesn't get a foul call. Oh, nope, he did. He did. Thank you to Richard for pointing that out. Did not hear that. So it is a foul and another free kick for the Cardinals. We've got less than 20 minutes to go. It's still scoreless. I know neither of these teams want overtime. Last time the Cardinals had an overtime game, by the way, it was their only non-loss of the season, a 0-0 double overtime tie with Brookdale 2 Sundays ago. Now the Cardinals trying to get something going here. Miranda carving his way through traffic. Goes to Hydera, shoots across to Diallo, I believe. Diallo, his pass is deflected. Cardinals are going to have to fall back on defense here. One man down there for the Catamounts. It's Nassif. He's got 3 men to beat. Nassif, shot, nice save by Thomas. Kind of just had to kneel down, and it fell right between his knees. Austin Thomas has been having an excellent game. To be honest, though, he hasn't had, of the few shots that have come his way, most have been off target. He's only had to make 1 or 2 really nice saves, but those saves have been fantastic. Catonsville's defense has done a good job of keeping the Catamounts from getting any big shots off. I say that loosely. They have made a lot of shots, but most have either been off target or just never had a chance in the first place. There's a collision. Khalid Minte is down. He gets back to his feet. So does the Catamount player who went down with him, I believe. That was Lapid. Edley to Lapid. Another pass that just goes between the twigs. 18 minutes to go. Still a scoreless tie. Even if this game ends in another tie, that is an accomplishment for Catonsville. It'll be their second tie of the season. We would have to get through 2 overtime periods, though, so just be warned. Abu Diallo on the ground for the second time today, but he's back on his feet. Good to see. He's actually arguing with the ref right now. I think they're going to call a foul on him for that. Wasn't too pleased with it. Catamount setting up. 17 minutes to go in this second half. And a chance here for Nassif. No, Thomas with the stop. Thomas is going to wait for the Cardinals to get into position. Might be waiting there for a little while because well, actually, you know what? I'm going to be nice. Catonsville actually got hustled down to midfield. Passes it out to Drummond. Drummond backs to Minte. Boxed in, not a lot of options. Goes across the field to Sims. Good pickup by Sims. Hesitated a bit there. He goes to Britton. Britton over the middle to Diallo. Struggling to get through defenders. Diallo bouncing off, and there's going to be a foul and a free kick coming for Catonsville as Abu Diallo got shoved around out there. To be fair, it looked like he may have tried to pull a flop, but the foul still got called. No, flop, more of a basketball term. Speaking of which, CCBC Catonsville Cardinals basketball, men's and women's basketball starting up in October. Be sure to tune into our broadcasts. Every home game will be coming to you live on CCBC Catonsville Cardinals YouTube page. Very excited for the upcoming basketball seasons. Last year, basketball, men's and women's put on shows. Both of their seasons were fantastic. Some games that are going right down into the Hall of Fame for some of the best games we've seen here. Anyway, back to the sport at hand. Evan Sims will take the free kick as Catonsville trying to score. And again, whoever scores first is going to win with the way these two teams have been playing. Free kick is up. Knocked around. Chance. No! Oh, man. Abu Diallo was so close there. Excuse me, Khalid Minte. Khalid Minte was so close there. Couldn't get to Bailey. Drummond goes down again. And now Nassif passes out. Back to Nassif. Oh! Way off target. Nassif got it to Dadisman. Back to Nassif. His shot just too high. That's been an issue all night with Rashid Nassif. He's had so many chances, but most of his shots have gone way too high on the net. The shutout is still preserved. We've got 15 minutes to go. We're in the end game of this match. Somebody is going to score, and whoever it does, by the way, that was the closest Catonsville's come to scoring all game. Whoever scores first will win. Chance for the Catamounts. They've got lots of options, but they've also got Caleb Akano's shin, who makes a good block. Catamounts still with possession. You can feel the frustration with Potomac State. They know this should have been they probably circled this game as a game we could win, but it's not been that easy. Catonsville has done that to their opponents all season long. And they've just frustrated them with as they just will not bend over for the opposition. We've got 14 minutes to go. Free kick coming up here for the Catamounts. Another good chance. Free kick up. Overshot, goes out of bounds. Cardinals will take back possession. As into the game now for Catonsville comes number 22, Dalton Jackson, the freshman defender from Dundalk, Maryland, as he replaces Abu Diallo. Jackson got the start in his last home game.
22, Dalton Jackson for Catonsville.
Goal kick is a bit shorter than usual, and Jackson immediately getting into the action, trying to go for the header. Nice behind the back pass there by Ritchie. Catamounts going for the attack. This is Nassif.
Corner kick, Potomac State.
And Potomac is going to get their corner kick, I believe. This is either their first or second of the second half. We have not seen a lot of corner kicks in this match so far. As that kick just hits the side of the net. So, with about 12 minutes to go in the second half, it's still 0-0. Cardinals go back on the offensive. And at this point, you got to be telling them, come on, come on. You can win this. All you need is one shot. You were so close last time. They just need to get the offense. As Austin Thomas's goal kick, you can tell that the Cardinals are getting tired. That goal kick not as long as the previous ones from the first half. Gainesville getting very tired out here. As Alec Britton goes down, and it's going to be a free kick and a yellow card on the Catamounts. Waiting to see who that was on. I believe was that on 12? I don't want to say. No, it was not on 12. That was on number 11, Jacob Ritchie. So 2 yellow cards now. Paul Catafalmo boxed in, trying to avoid getting knocked out of bounds. He stays with it, gets it blocked, ball goes out. Possession will stick with the Cardinals as Paul Catafalmo showing that aggression that he is known for. He goes for Drummond, ball gets headed out of bounds by Orndorff, so Catafalmo will toss in again. Catafalmo will toss it in. Miranda heads it up. No one was ready. Catamounts get the ball back. And a good block there by Catafalmo. Catamounts will retain possession. We've got almost 10 minutes to go. Ball getting bounced up. This is Nassif. Dodging through traffic. Tries a pass. It's deflected and picked off by the Cardinals. Now Britton had to, it's going to be taken away by the Catamounts. Action's moving faster than I could process it. Here's a shot saved by Thomas. That was Ritchie who shot not enough power on it. Thomas was ready and he falls. 10 minutes to go. It is still a scoreless tie. Overtime is looming. Neither of these teams really want that, but we could end up with overtime. We're about to find out. Here's Dalton Jackson. Jackson passes it out for Drummond. Drummond beats his man to the ball. He goes down. That's going to be a foul and maybe more. Drummond knocked to the ground. I believe by number 24, Guilherme Morea. It'll be a free kick for the Cardinals. As Catonsville taking their positions. Sims with the free kick, and it will just settle into the gloves of Tim Bailey. Bailey will knock it downfield. Chase between Catafalmo and Nassif. Nassif wins it. He's got one man to beat. Over the middle to Dadisman. Dadisman, shot, score. Grant Dadisman with the score, and that could be the winner for the Catamounts. With 9 minutes to go, Potomac State breaks the deadlock. And Catonsville is crushed. Grant Dadisman off the assist from Rashid Nassif with the first and what could be the only score of the game. And the entire Catamount team came out to celebrate that one. Austin Thomas was nearly perfect in this game. This one. So there goes the threat of overtime for now. 8 minutes, 50 seconds to go. We go back to the action. Cardinals now trying to level.
Of the second half, Potomac State goal. Score by number 12, Grant Dadisman. Assist to number 7, Rashid Nassif. Dadisman from Nassif at 36:08. Potomac State 1, Catonsville 0.
So we do have a Potomac State player down. Uh-oh. Wait, never mind. He is getting to his feet. That is Nassif who's getting back to his feet. So Potomac State breaks the deadlock. Catonsville now can try to force overtime or pull a miracle. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Eight minutes, 20 seconds to go. And the Cardinals back on the offensive. Sims, double teamed. Tries to find Catafalmo, who wasn't there. He had to streak in there. Ball knocked downfield, and it will go back to the Catamounts. Drummond keeping it aggressive. Bailey will see some significant action here. The Catamounts now probably want to try and play keep away, but Catonsville is not going to let them. Catafalmo trying to steal it away. Down to Nassif, knocked out of bounds by Akano. Another chance here for the Catamounts to try and extend the lead, and they very well could. Wind picking up again. Trees are really swaying out there. I think this is the strongest that we've seen the wind tonight. Nassif tosses it into Orndorff. And it gets deflected out of bounds there by Haidara. Substitute coming in now for the Catamounts as we wait to see who it is. I believe. There we go. Edwin Gonzalez, number 10, is into the game as he replaces number 16, Samuel Otalora.
For Potomac State, number 10, Edwin Gonzalez.
Cardinals managed to wrestle the ball back. We've got 6.5 minutes to go. I've got to say, even if this ends in a Catonsville loss, it has been quite impressive with how they have played and also with the crowd that's come out tonight to support them. That's a good thing to see. First couple games this year, crowd wasn't nearly this big. I don't think we even had a crowd at all in some cases. Now, Cardinals can't seem to get anything going offensively. There's a bit of a spark. They look a bit more energized, but they just have not been able to connect. They had probably only 1 or 2 really good chances. Here's Orndorff. To Headley, back to Orndorff. Over the middle to Lapid. Chance for Headley. Scoots through traffic. Shot off the post. Mari Headley trying to make it 2-0. Hits the post instead. So it remains a 1-0 game. We've got 5.5 minutes to go. Tosses in. Anderson will pass it. It's intercepted by the Catamounts. Potomac State back on the assault, but Caleb Akano says otherwise. Akano has it stolen away. Caleb is not giving up, and Rashid Nassif was down. Okay, he's back on his feet. That's good. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession will stick with the Catamounts. And Rashid Nassif goes down again. That's the 3rd time in the last 5 minutes that he's gone down. Speaking of which, 4 minutes, about 4.5 minutes to go. Cardinals trying to get something going here. Haidara loses track of it. Taken away. Cardinals will reset. Rashid Nassif still struggling a bit. He's down on the ground again, clutching his leg. Stoppage could be coming up. He's kind of rolling around out there. As here's Paul Catafalmo. Catafalmo's pass, a little too much power, and that's the stoppage that Potomac State needed. Rashid Nassif is still on the ground. He's back on his feet now, but walking gingerly towards the sidelines. I believe he might be done for the night. It's been a tough night for Rashid Nassif. He's had a lot of good chances here. Mason Mocker is into the game now, number 8.
For Potomac State, number 8, Mason Maker.
So with Maker into the game, it'll be a goal kick here for the Catamounts by Tim Bailey. We've got almost exactly 4 minutes to go. Catamounts trying to pull off this win to get to 6-1 on the season. Catonsville trying to pull off a miracle and force overtime. Here's Drummond. Finds Miranda. Down the sidelines, no one was ready. Drummond is coming in. Ball goes out of bounds. Cardinals will get possession. Corner kick here for Catonsville.
Catonsville corner kick.
With 3.5 minutes to go. Kick is up. Bounced around by the wind. No. Handball is going to be called against the Cardinals. And Potomac State will retake possession. Now Drummond. Still with possession. Goes down. Foul is going to be called against Potomac State. Ryan Drummond still on the ground. They're calling for an athletic trainer. Athletic trainer Abby Miller headed out to check on Ryan Drummond. Clock has stopped here with 2.5 minutes to go. Drummond is being helped off the field, limping a bit. Free kick will sail over the net. Cardinals still have a chance. Anderson goes back to Mente. And ball will go out of bounds. Catamounts will retake possession. About 2 minutes to go. Bailey with a nice kick over the middle. Anderson trying to break through. The defense is going to come up big here, get with another stop. Maybe. They're trying to fight through it. We got 1.5 minutes to go here. Anderson with a nice steal. There's another collision. Ooh. Yellow card. And a red card. Trying to see who that was for the Catamounts. But Potomac State just had is going to be down a man now. They just got red carded. And this could be big for Catonsville. With 1:16 to go, this could be the break the Cardinals need to try and force overtime. Thomas with the free kick, picked up by the Cardinals. And it will go out of bounds, but it was deflected off the boot of a Catamount, so Catonsville will retain possession. Anderson waiting to toss in.
1 minute now remaining second
We have exactly 1 minute to go. By the way, the player who got sent off, I believe, was number 10, Edwin Gonzalez. Do not quote me on that. I don't know for certain. As a quick scan of the field, he doesn't look to be there. Catamounts take it away. The question is, if Catonsville gets possession here in these final 30 seconds on their side of the pitch, will Austin Thomas be brought up from the goal to try and help things out? Akano, backpedaling, knocks it out of bounds. Possession sticks with the Catamounts. 27 seconds to go. All Potomac State really needs to do now is just kind of sit on the ball, and they probably have victory assured. Tosses in, 20 seconds. Anderson fighting. They've boxed in the Catamounts. Can't see who that is. Ball goes out of bounds. Final 10 seconds are clicking. That is going to be it. 3, 2, 1. That'll be the final. The final score, 1-0. Potomac State gets the victory over Catonsville.
That is the end of this evening's game with the final score. Potomac State 1, Catonsville 0. Just a quick reminder, this coming Saturday at 1 o'clock, Catonsville men's soccer will host Lackawanna. Once again, game time on Saturday at 1 p.m. We thank you very much for joining us. We remind you to buckle up before you leave the campus, and we wish you a pleasant good evening and a safe drive home.
So that'll do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed this broadcast as always. Catonsville falls 1-0. It was a hard-fought game, though. Good defensive effort by the Cardinals till the bitter end. That first win is coming. It will happen sooner rather than later, mark my words. Next up for the Cardinals, they face off against Lackawanna College on Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff time. We will be there as always. This is Isaac Donsky signing off from the Joseph and Mildred Murray Stadium Field, saying so long, folks. Have a good night. We will see you on Saturday.